Sometimes the most extraordinary stories begin with the tiniest of meows echoing through the darkness. This is the tale of Crixs, a spotted tabby kitten whose journey would touch hearts, heal wounds, and prove that some connections transcend even death itself. At Marley Meadow Sanctuary, where second chances are a way of life, the family has dedicated themselves to helping animals in need. And among all the feline residents who call this place home, there's one whose story is particularly special. His story begins in 2023, during evening chores. As the family tended to their many animal residents, a tiny voice called out from the woods near the cow pasture. It wasn't just any meow. It was frantic, desperate, the kind of cry that tugs at your heartstrings and demands immediate attention. The sound was coming from near one of the outdoor feeding stations, but it was unfamiliar. This wasn't one of the regular feline visitors. Following the sound, they found him almost immediately. A tiny spotted tabby kitten, crawling out from under fallen branches, meowing his little head off as if his life depended on it. He was hysterical, starving, and completely alone. But here's the thing that made everyone's heart skip a beat. He looked exactly like Spartacus, the cat who passed away a short time earlier. To understand how special Crixs' story is, we first need to meet Spartacus. He was found as a tiny kitten, sick and alone in Millville, New Jersey. He suffered from a severe upper respiratory infection, a bite wound to his head that had damaged his eye, and if that wasn't enough, he was also Phe-LV positive. Most people would have looked at his broken little body and given up hope. But the family at Marley Meadow Sanctuary saw a fighter. They saw Spartacus. For 3 precious years, Spartacus lived up to his gladiator namesake. He fought every day, not in an arena, but against the challenges his body presented him. He was loved, he was cherished, and he proved that sometimes the smallest warriors have the biggest heart. But cancer in his broken body eventually claimed their victory, and Spartacus left his family heartbroken, but grateful for every moment they'd shared. The loss was devastating. Depression settled over the household like a heavy blanket, and it seemed like the joy that Spartacus had brought might be gone forever. But not long after Spartacus crossed the Rainbow Bridge, something special happened. The kitten now known as Crixs found this family, and the resemblance with Spartacus was uncanny. Same spotted tabby markings, same determined little face, same fighting spirit shining through those tiny eyes. As they picked him up and checked him over for injuries, finding thankfully none, the family felt something they hadn't expected to feel so soon after their loss. Hope. The little kitten was frantically searching for food, so they immediately gave him wet food in a crate while they searched the area for any sign of his mother or siblings. They found no one. Whether he had been dumped there by someone who couldn't care for him, or whether he had somehow been separated from his family, one thing was clear: he needed them. After a quick bath and more food, the kitten settled into a bedroom in the house, safely away from the other cats until they could be sure he was healthy. Even from the very first night, his personality shone through. He was strong-willed, energetic like a lightning bolt, and had a spirit that reminded everyone of someone very special indeed. The connection wasn't lost on anyone. Here was a spotted tabby kitten, found alone and fighting for survival, just like Spartacus had been. His resemblance to their beloved Spartacus was remarkable, but it was more than just looks. His spirit, his determination, his refusal to give up despite being so small and vulnerable. It all felt familiar, comforting, like a piece of Spartacus had somehow found its way back to them. So the name Crixs came to mind almost immediately, and it stuck. In the historical tale of the gladiators, Crixs and Spartacus were bonded friends who fought side by side. It seemed only fitting that this little warrior should carry on his predecessor's legacy with the name of Spartacus's greatest ally. From the first night, Crixs proved he was anything but ordinary. He was incredibly intelligent, picking up on routines and learning the house rules with remarkable speed. His energy levels were off the charts. This was a kitten who needed to play, and then play some more. He grew up surrounded by feline companionship. He particularly liked Autumn, a tiny black kitten who had also been rescued and who became his constant companion and occasional victim of his playful antics. Watching Crixs navigate his new world was like watching a masterclass in kitten development. He learned when playtime was appropriate and when it was time to settle down. He discovered which cats enjoyed his company and which preferred their personal space. And through it all, he maintained that lightning bolt energy that had marked him from day one. The bond between Crixs and his human family grew stronger every day. He claimed a spot sleeping above his human mom's head, and sometimes even on her face, a sleeping arrangement that might sound uncomfortable but somehow worked perfectly for both of them. As he grew, Crixs developed many friendships throughout the sanctuary. One of his best friends became Princess Mononoke, another rescue with her own story of survival and hope. The two of them could often be found playing together, napping in sunny spots, or getting into the kind of harmless mischief that keeps life interesting in a house full of cats. Throughout all of this, Crixs never lost that special quality that had marked him from the beginning, his ability to bring joy back into lives that had known sorrow. His presence didn't erase the memory of Spartacus. Instead, it honored it. He carried forward the spirit of his namesake while being entirely his own cat. The family at Marley Meadows Sanctuary deeply believes in reincarnation, and from the moment they saw Crixs, they felt they knew his soul. Whether you believe in such things or not, there's no denying the healing power that this little spotted tabby brought into their lives. The sanctuary continues its work, providing homes for cats who might otherwise have nowhere to go. Each resident has their own story, their own journey that led them to the safe haven. But among all these tales of rescue and redemption, Crixs' story stands out, not just because of his remarkable resemblance to Spartacus, but because of what he represents. He represents hope. He represents the idea that love doesn't end with death, but transforms and continues in new ways. He represents the belief that sometimes the universe sends us exactly what we need, exactly when we need it, in the form of a tiny kitten crawling out from under fallen branches. And the connection between Crixs and Spartacus, like that of their historical namesakes, is one that transcends the physical world. Whether you believe Crixs found his way to Marley Meadow Sanctuary by coincidence or by design, one thing is certain: he was exactly where he was meant to be.